We're recording. Here we go.
All right. Greetings, everyone. Grace and peace be unto you from God our Father and from the Lord Jesus Christ. We want to welcome you in on today as I have the Archbishop D. Miles Golphin with us on today. And we're going to be discussing certain topics as it relates to the post-pandemic church. And we want to just give everyone an opportunity just to come on in. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that share button. Amen. And share the program with us on today. Archbishop Golphin is the leader of the Global Conference of Bishops, and he has been doing teachings every month related to church growth and the church community. And he's been blessing us all throughout last year, and he's carrying it over into this year. And we're thankful to the Lord to have him on today, because our next session is going to be directed to the post-pandemic church. And I want to introduce Archbishop Golphin at this time and allow him to talk to us a little bit about these monthly webinars, and this one this month, which will be on the post-pandemic church. Archbishop?
Thank you, son. I appreciate it, Bishop Edwards. We're excited about what's coming up this month. It's going to be a great seminar. You'll see the ticker tape rolling at the end down here, which gives you some information about the Global Conference of Bishops. The website tells you to go to the event tab. You click on the picture there that we have of the Global Conference, so you can see that on that picture, the Global Conference on the event tab. Click that. It'll take you to the landing page that will allow you to sign up for the webinar this month. And we have these every month. We either do it on the second or the third Thursday of every month at 7 o'clock. If you can't make it at the time the webinar is on, you can also make it later, because it will turn into an on-demand webinar, and you can look at it over and over again. If you register and you can't get on at the time we're on, then you can also look at it later and get it as an on-demand webinar. Also on our website, there is a tab there for the monthly webinar teachings that are there, and you can pick up the others. We've been doing this now for about 10 months, Bishop Edwards, and we have monthly teachings there for those 10 months that are on. But this month, as Bishop Edwards mentioned, we're going to be talking about the post-pandemic church.
Yes. Yeah, and Bishop, when you're getting us ready to get into this teaching, because this is going to be absolutely phenomenal, I don't hear many people talking about a post-pandemic church, and so can you give us just a little teaser, a couple nuggets, real quick, about what the concept is? Because the definition of church, I'm seeing it evolve, and I know you're seeing it evolve as well. So, kind of give us a little understanding behind what we are meaning by this term post-pandemic church.
I think for us, Bishop, one of the things that we have is that and you mentioned it, I think it's very important, our definition of church evolves. And it becomes, I've been talking a lot about the ancient church, the modern church, and the emergent church.
Okay.
Now, what I mean by those three terms is interesting, because everybody tries to go back to rediscover what they're talking about when they're saying the ancient church. In other words, what the church was like in the first couple of centuries. Well, it was not an organized church, that's for sure.
Okay.
It was what we really term as a persecuted church. So the church in the first 2 or 3 centuries was a persecuted church. It was not structured. And even all of this talk about it being a European church, it was really an Eastern church. It was done in an area that was Eastern. It did go to Europe. In fact, the church after 1054 AD became involved into two divisions, what we call the Western Church and the Eastern Orthodox Church.
Right.
So now the Western Church became extremely corrupt. It became what I would call, Bishop, the persecuting church.
Wait, Bishop. So it started out as the persecuted church, but then it morphs into the persecuting church.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And so it started torturing and condemning people who did not believe with its philosophy of
Okay.
church. And so they became martyrs that became part of the persecuting church. Out of that, of course, came what we call the Protestant church, who protested what the Western church was doing.
Okay.
And so we have what we call the Protestant Reformation. And the concept of church in terms of being organized changed. And to where we are now, as far west as we can be in the United States, we think we've got a handle on what we think the church is and what it's all about. We left from the first century church, where the church was more about people,
Mhm.
to now that we deal with the church more about institutions
Okay.
and buildings. So when the pandemic came, we were so accustomed to having our church buildings and structures of going to church,
Mm.
I think we forgot about how to be the church.
Wow. Okay, that's very important. So the institutions became center stage in terms of our focus, and so it became more about the building, more about the people. Okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah. And so what we're going to do in this concept, Bishop, is that we're going to talk about several things I think that's important in terms of getting us to this concept. So what are we going to talk about? We're going to deal with the question of church. We're going to look at a hybrid church model, because what has come out of this pandemic church is that
Hmm.
we're seeing the church online now. So
Right.
a lot of churches have developed this concept of the church online. What do we mean by the church online? The church is now streaming. And we're actually fulfilling the mandate of Jesus when he talks about us going into all the world. We're
Mm.
not physically getting on planes and boats and going to all the world now. We're doing it across streaming.
All
And so
right.
we're going to look at a hybrid church model. We're going to look at what's coming out of this as a new leadership structure that we got to develop. And then we're going to look at some progressive changes that I think they're important to where we are.
Wow.
That kind
That's
of
going to be a lot.
what we're doing.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot. I like that. So we have those three major aspects that you just put up on the screen. I think they're absolutely essential for what the church is going to look like. And I can't wait for us to delve into this and to see you expound on these points, because I think the church, in terms of its development and where it's going and where we are in the future, that whole idea that you're going to start off with this hybrid model, I think that that's going to be absolutely essential, because you alluded to something about the Great Commission not being on
Right.
airplanes but being on airways when you said
That's
streaming.
right.
So I'm thinking you already got me going here. So it's not so we're going to be traveling the airways, but we're going to be doing it not over a plane, but maybe over a product instead.
That's
So
right.
wow, this is going to be
I do
amazing.
want to mention that we're also, as we look at this, Bishop, we're going to be doing this with Pastor Roderick Stevenson, who's innovated some powerful things in terms of church growth. So he's
Wow.
going to share and co-host this with me on navigating the post-pandemic church. And I think that as we get back to the navigation of this and what we're developing in terms of what we're going to do, we're going to see what's going to happen as he develops some concepts with us. I think that a lot of things of what we're doing, I don't think I know. The church has got to understand that once there's a shift, it's not in terms that we need to shift backwards. We need to shift forward. That makes
I
sense.
think that that's important, because I know Pastor Stevenson, and I've always known him to be a futuristic type of person and an advanced
Right.
thinker. And with the two of you guys coming together for this is going to be absolutely phenomenal. Give us some more details about how we can connect with this and get and tuned into the actual live stream when it comes up, sir.
Thursday, January 19th at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. We're going to be on. We're going to have it right in. You see the ticker tapes, but we're going to put some things in the comments so you can go to the landing page and be involved. Join us. We're going to have some innovative discussions. I'm going to put up PowerPoints like you saw. It's going to be some things that we're going to talk about and deal with in terms of where we are, and we're going to discover some things I think it's going to be extremely important to where we are. When it comes to post isolation and post um, COVID 19, no one seriously know what's going to happen, let
Mm,
alone when things will happen. And I think that we've got to develop where we are and to find out what we're going to do in terms of it. That's going to be extremely important. So, Bishop, we're going to develop an idea of where we're going with this whole idea with the church. So, we don't want to share too much. We just want you to come and join us in this discussion, January the 19th, Thursday, 7 p.m. Go to the landing page, join us, get on, become a part of what we're going to do. And we'll look forward to seeing you then.
Listen, people, we got to be a part of this. This is amazing. I want to thank you, Archbishop, for just taking out the time to make this resource available. People, you got it. You got the information. It's going across the bottom of the screen. It's right there right now. You can go to globalcob.org, okay? And you can register for this seminar. And Archbishop is going to be talking about the post-pandemic church, what it looks like, and what the layout is for the future. Any closing remarks, Archbishop, before we let them go?
Just register and be a part of what we're going to do. We'll also have time on air when we're talking for you to ask your questions and comments and on, and you can interchange with Pastor Stevenson and I, and we'll talk about what's going on. Look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks online, and we'll be doing this live on a live webinar. You'll be able to interact with us live on the screen.
All right. Thank you so much, Archbishop. So you guys, you got it. It's going to be January the 19th at 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the post-pandemic church with Archbishop D. Miles Golphin and Pastor Roderick Stevenson. I can't wait to see it. We want to see you there. Okay. God bless everybody. We're signing off. And remember to go with God.